Hello, everyone. Welcome to WHITradio.org, The Final Word with Michael DePinto. Fortunately, Michael can't make it today, so I'm sitting in for him. Mr. Placino, broadcasting instructor, and we have with us is Kelsey Paul. She'll be part of this discussion. Of course, Dr. Giammarella, the principal of High Tech High School. And we're going to start just briefly talk about two different things. And to start it off, Kelsey, will you give us our first question?
Yes. Dr. Giammarella, I have noticed, along with many other students here at High Tech, that there has been a change in curriculum. I've recently learned that it's called the McCrell system. Can you please explain these changes or the focus points and why they have been implemented?
Okay, the McCrell system is an evaluation system, and it doesn't have too much at this point to do with the curriculum. Other than the teachers wrote the curriculum, they have to write lesson plans, and they have to be followed. The evaluation system is very similar to what has been going on in the past, except the McCrell system is a growth model. A little bit of background, when the state instructed us to revise evaluation systems, and it wasn't only for Hudson County Schools of Technology, it was the entire state. That was based upon the PARC assessments, which will go into effect in about 2 years. The PARC assessment is basically driven by the curriculum, which were revised. The evaluation system itself is, as I said before, a growth model. And basically, when a teacher is evaluated, there are certain things that we look for when we go into the classroom, and it's something that should be ongoing. Are the students engaged? Do the students work in groups very well? Is the instructor using technology that's available to them? Are the instructors asking high-ended questions? In other words, there's name the 7 continents. That's a question. But is it a question that should be asked at the high school level? So they have to ask questions that are more in-depth and require the students to think about the answers a little bit more. Okay?
Okay. Do we have time for a quick question that we pre-recorded? Chris, can we throw a question up there?
Hi, Dr. Giammarella. This is Kaylee Rogers from WHITradio.org. I was curious as to what caused the shift in core curriculum and how that affected teacher evaluations. Thank you.
Okay. Basically, that's something similar to what I discussed just now, and there's 3 separate pieces. One is the PARC assessment, the second one is the curriculum, the third is the evaluation process. The 2 that are most closely related are the PARC assessments and the curriculum. We have to prepare the students with the curriculum in order for them to take the PARC and be successful in the PARC, which will replace the HESPA. So that's one piece of it. The evaluation tool is something that's a little bit more in-depth than what we used to use. We had an evaluation tool that was 1 page long, had about maybe 40 different categories to look at, and it was a check mark system. You'd go in the classroom, is the teacher prepared? Check. Is the teacher on time? Check. So there was nothing really in that system that required the evaluator nor the teacher to actually sit down and go over what the results were. You either got a check mark or you didn't. With this being a growth process model, there is room for improvement. That's number 1. Each teacher has to get evaluated 3 times. In those 3 times, the teachers have the ability to get better. So if I go into a room and a teacher isn't using technology, when we have our post-observation meeting, the teacher will be informed, listen, you really didn't use technology this time. I'll be looking for it the next time that I come in. So it's not a system that we're looking to, I got you.
It's not a punishing thing.
It's not. It's definitely not punitive.
Right.
And it's not a, I got you.
Right.
It's to help the teachers. And some of the teachers that I've spoken to realized that they weren't doing something that could engage the students even more. And again, I didn't say you're going to lose your job, and we could get to that at another time. Mm-hmm. It's just be aware that there are other ways to present the material other than stand up in front of the class and just lecture for 40 minutes.
Okay. All
Okay?
right. So we'll get into this a little bit more in another show. Mm-hmm. We have one further question that we'd like to ask you. And Kelsey,
before we go on, I definitely need to cover one more thing.
Okay.
The teachers should not be thinking along the lines that they're going to lose their jobs.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because before a teacher loses their job, the superintendent is going to come to me and say, what did you do to help the teacher become a better teacher? Mm-hmm. And if I say nothing, that's my job.
Right. So there's the way the law has changed, the teacher definitely can lose their tenure, but that's not where it's going. That's not where this is all going.
No, and that's definitely not the intent of this district from the superintendent on down.
Okay, all right, thank you. Kelsey, could you give Dr. Giammarella the last question, please?
Yes. There is much talk about emergence with AIS next year with high tech, and also CAS prep ceasing to exist. Can you please elaborate on how this will take place in the next upcoming school year?
Okay. It's going to be a short answer because I really can't get involved too much into staffing because we don't know about the staffing piece of it. AIS and CAS Prep are alternative schools. They will not be in existence next year. Next year, this entire campus, if you will, the building we're in now as well as the APA building, will be high-tech high school. Some of the students, not all of the students, from AIS will be invited to come to high-tech. And again, the administrators there are looking through all of the students to see who would be successful in high tech. We will not take anyone who will not be successful. So that being said, the entire area will be high tech high school. We'll be implementing a new academy there for engineering and design, and we're going to expand our student base also over the next few years.
And ACT will be moving?
ACT will probably be moving to the APA building, some minor renovations, but I think it's going to be good for ACT. It will not be called ACT because the concentration will not be on architecture. It'll be on, that'll be a piece of it.
Okay.
But it will be, there'll be a concentration on engineering, on manufacturing, so it's going to be an entirely reconstructed and redesigned area.
Okay. One quick question, and then we'll end the show, okay? Chris,
Sounds good.
Can we throw up a question on this subject?
Hi, Dr. G. This is Ida Brainy from the Awesome Panel. I was just wondering, with the merger, will we have to make stricter rules for everyone to be more organized?
For those of you who know me, I'm really not too much of a rules person, and the reason I say that is because the more rules you put into place, the more policing of the rules you have to do. I think the culture of high tech is such that it does not require too many rules. Be on time for class, be respectful. Do your work. But I think the key is respect. If everybody respects everyone, there's really not many rules that would come after that. And it's going to be with the, depending upon obviously how many students we bring in from AIS or CAS, there's going to be a period of time where they will have to get used to what we do at high tech. And I think with the students that we currently have at high tech and students that have gone before the students that are in high tech, the culture of the school will prevail over anything that we introduce into it. So the students that are here will, I'll use the word impose, but not really as forceful as that. They will welcome the new students like they always do every year, and the culture will be passed on through the students. I very rarely have a problem where there's a someone breaking the rules so dramatically that there has to be a suspension. And that's the way I intend it to be. I will speak to the students who we bring in the way I do every year, and Ms. Crone will do the same thing. So I don't see a problem where we're going to have to implement more rules.
Will all the students from AIS be coming to high tech, or
No,
no?
no.
All right.
Any students from either program will have to obviously be age appropriate. We can't have an 18-year-old freshman, and we can't have a 20-year-old senior.
No. Okay.
They have to be age appropriate, as well as have the ability to be successful.
Okay. Any final comments, Dr. G? Do you want to leave the student population with before we end the show?
Just a couple comments. Number one, don't be too nervous about the merger. If any of you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to come by and stop in my office. Don't proliferate the rumors. Stop the rumors. Get the right answers. Make sure you're not worrying about the teacher's job security. That has nothing to do with anything along the lines of student input. You do your job, the teachers are doing their jobs very well, and that's the way I intend it to stay. And lastly, please enjoy the break and have a great holiday. Thank you.
Okay, happy holidays from WHIT Radio. Thank you, Kelsey, for being on the show. Dr. Giammarella, thank you.
Thank you.
This is Mr. P. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.